Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to TRICENTIS Tosca SAP Automation tutorial. As you all know, I've already published 5 YouTube videos covering different topics of SAP automation by using TRICENTIS Tosca. So this is our 6th lesson where I'm going to teach you about the creation of test steps using modules as part of test case automation. So if you remember, in my previous session, I've already told you that there are 5 major steps that are involved to complete your test case automation by using TRICENTIS Tosca. So in my previous lesson, I've covered step 1 to create your modules by scanning SAP controls, SAP application controls. And also I explained you the step 2 where we have created the test case structure. So in this lesson, I'm going to teach you about the step 3, create test steps using modules. So basically we are going to create test steps for the test case structure that we created in earlier session. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you. Okay, so if you see on the screen, I've already covered step 1, scanning SAP GUI controls and create modules. And the step 2, create test case structure. So now in this session, I'm going to cover step 3, create test steps using modules. That's why I have bolded that particular point in the slide. Okay, so now let's jump onto the system and see how can we create test steps using modules. Okay, so this is my Tosca 16 latest version. Okay, so in my previous session I've already explained you creation of test case structure, right? In my previous session, 2 steps that are required to automate test cases I have already explained. First step is capturing the controls to create the modules, and second step is creation of your test case structure. So we already captured the modules, if you remember correctly. See, the modules that are required to automate the test case of generate and verify sales order, we already captured the modules that are required, and we created test case structure. Now let's see how can we add test steps for these test case structure. Okay, so for that, let's put this our modules at a different location, somewhere here. Okay, on right side these are modules, and left side we have a test cases. Okay, what is our first step is to log in. To log into the SAP, you have to click on this SAP Log On, so that it opens this, and then you need to click on your connection. Okay, so how to establish the connection and how to install, I already explained you. Okay, in my previous sessions, I would recommend you guys to go through those sessions. Okay, so for that, in this standard modules, I already explained you about standard modules in my previous session. If you go to standard modules, Tosca has provided some standard SAP modules for all the users. Okay, so here there is a standard module called SAP Log On and SAP Login. Okay, I'm going to use SAP Log On to launch the application, Log On application. Okay, so hence drag and drop your module to my first test case folder. Okay, so if you see here, this is the log on function. So where I need to provide, let me show you, I need to provide the path of my this SAP log on icon and the connection name. What is the connection name that you would like to use, right? My connection name is ID IDES extern. Correct? That's my connection name. I need to provide connection name here. Okay. So populating the test step values, I'm going to explain in my next session. For today's session, we are going to just restrict ourselves to creation of test steps, but not population of test step values. Okay. In the next session, I'll tell you how to populate values for each test step that we are adding right now. Okay. So log on. Once you click on log on, and once you click on this IDs extern, you need to provide your credentials. Correct? For that, I have another standard module called SAP Login, where you need to provide client name, username, password, right? So now I want to just drag and drop on same folder the new module. Okay, this is my login. Okay, so where I'll be providing my client address. Let me show you that. Okay, where I'll be providing client name, username, password. So that's all required. So once that is done, okay, let's quickly log in. Okay, I want to make sure that you understand what modules I'm adding. Okay, once you log in, then what we need to do, we have to enter -n VA01 so that you can land onto create sales order. What we are doing on search bar, I am entering VA01. Correct? That's why there is another standard module to access your submenu, sub toolbar. Basically, this is your sub toolbar, right? To access this, you have another standard module called sub toolbar. Let me show you. Here, if you see, this is my sub toolbar. So now we are done with login. Now I want to open the transaction. So I'm opening the transaction of create sales customer, right? By entering the value here. For that, I need to use sub toolbar, drag and drop into open transaction. Okay, here under sub toolbar, oh sorry, this is not sub toolbar. Let's delete this. Sub tool, I need to open, oh sorry, delete this. I need to drag and drop my sub toolbar here. SAP toolbar, not sub toolbar, it's SAP toolbar. Okay, drag and drop here. Here I just need to provide the search criteria here. Transaction code. Here under transaction code, I need to provide the -n VA01. Okay, so that will open your pre-sales. Correct? And then I'm gonna enter. Click on enter also. I'm gonna click on enter. Under this sub toolbar, I have search bar where I'll be entering, and then I'm gonna click on this enter button. Okay. So once that is done, what we need to do? Let's do that. Okay. I need to fill the information, this entire information. If you remember, in our previous session, I've already created modules by capturing all the controls of my initial screen. So that module is required now. Okay. So close this. Open transaction is done. And then initial screen. Okay. If you remember, I already created here. See, this is one module we already captured in my previous session. So I really highly recommend you guys to watch my previous session to understand all these. Okay. So this create sales order initial screen, right? This controls I already captured. Okay. Drag and drop here. That's it. Done. I'm going to provide all the values here. Okay. So once that is done, let me quickly do whatever you want to do. Okay. Let's fill up all these. Okay. Organization, sorry, and then channel. So let me enter as 12, and then let me enter division as 00. Done. And then enter. Oh, I think this one is wrong. It's OR. Okay. Done. So once I click on this, you will be landing onto overview screen. So if you remember, we also captured the control from the screen. Okay. So now this is my overview
module which I captured the controls of this particular screen. You simply drag and drop to the overview folder. Okay, so that is done. Once you enter the overview folder, and then in the overview, I'm going to enter the data, correct? I'm going to enter the data, and then I'll be going to a PO number also I need to enter. Let's enter as 123. So once that is done, I need to add some items here. So that I'm going to discuss later, okay? Because I'm not going to teach you about this entry of the table, because this is your SAP table. How to handle SAP table, I'm going to teach you in my upcoming sessions, okay? For now, let's enter 08. Unit is enter as a quantity as 5, unit as SU, ST. Okay, so done. And then you save on this. So to save, see, we fill the data and then I need to save this, correct? To save it, I need to capture my sub toolbar, correct? My sub toolbar. Okay, so for that, again I have to call my SAP toolbar. I need to call my SAP toolbar. So it's simple. You need to, sorry, and then you hit enter, actually not save, you hit enter. For that again you will be calling sub toolbar. Okay, let's drag and drop the sub toolbar, SAP toolbar here in the overview itself, which performs enter. Okay, so that is done. So but I can rename these actually. What? Save the record, where I am going to save the record, correct? And here also initial screen we already there. I think this is okay. Open transaction, let's rename all these also. SAP logon, this is open SAP GUI, and this is login to SAP GUI, correct? Login to SAP GUI. And then what we are doing, we are actually here we are opening the transaction, right? By entering VA01, open transaction of sales order, done. And then here we are entering initial screen, this is correct, the data, and then we are entering the overview data, and then we are saving the record. Once you save the record, what happens? Let's save the record here. Let's save, enter. Once, as soon as you hit enter, you're going to redirect to, you need to go to, click on go to on top menu, header and sales. So to perform this, you need to access, there is another toolbar, another standard module called SAP menu. So to access the SAP menu, you already have a standard module called SAP menu. Okay, so here let's drag this and drop into header data and name this as navigate to, where I am navigating, navigate to sales, correct? So navigate to sales from header. Okay, so how to navigate to sales, I'm going to tell you. Okay, I'm going to tell you while providing the values. So there is a small logic that we need to implement here. Okay, so once you navigate to sales, go and sales. Once you navigate to sales, you need to enter document date. So this screen controls we already captured. So that's why simply drag. So let's go to that module. So this is the module header data, where you will be entering the date field, correct? Where you will be entering the date field. Drag and drop here. So once here you will be entering your header data. Once header data is completed, entering the header data is completed, you need to save it. So again, you need to access SAP toolbar. See, let's say I enter 23, so 2301, okay, I entered today's date, okay, or future date. Let me enter future date, 24, and then .01.2023. Here I need to click on save instead of enter. Save this. So for that, again, to save the record, again, you can actually use SAP toolbar. Okay. So where is my standard module again? Let's drag SAP toolbar and drop here and rename this as save the transaction data. Okay, and here this time what we are going to do, we are going to select save here. Okay, while entering the values. Okay, that I'm going to teach you later anyway. And once that is done, you need to close the transaction. How to close the transaction? Once you save, here you saved it, you need to just enter #n, enter. So this will close your transaction. Basically, anytime you enter /n, that closes the transaction. So that means for closing the transaction, again I need to use the menu, correct? So I can use again SAP toolbar here, drag and drop here, and then name this as close the transaction. Done. So one more thing is, see here, once you save the data, see whenever I clicked on save right earlier, let me tell you. Okay, whenever you click on save, once you enter the data, at the bottom you will have a message stating that you will get a sales order number. See, at this bottom of your screen, you will get a message stating that your sales order so and so number is successful. So I need to validate the success message also. So for that validation of success message, we are going to do here. As soon as I save, immediately I'm going to validate the success message. Okay, that validation part again I'm going to teach you in my next lesson where I'll be entering all the values, where I'm going to fill all the values, for the test case structure just now we entered here. Okay, so basically the test steps whatever we enter here, I'm going to teach you how to populate the values also. Okay, let me just expand this. Okay, if you see here, login, under login we are actually opening the GUI and then logging into SAP. Once that is done, you are opening a transaction of sales order, and then you are entering the data into a initial screens, correct? And then you are entering data in a overview, and then you are saving a record, and then again you are entering the header data, and then you are creating a sales order data. So basically you are navigating to sales. Okay, and then entering the date field in the sales order, and then you are saving a transaction. Here save the record by enter. Okay, and we are saving the transaction by save. Okay, and then you are closing the transaction. That's it. So now almost you are ready. Your test case automation is almost ready. So the only step that is remaining is the fourth step is population of your values, population of the test data to steer the application based on the modules. Okay, so it's almost we finished automating our test case. So stay tuned for my next session where I'm going to populate the test case with all the values. Okay, so that it steers the application. If you have any queries, leave your comments in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Thank you.
Hope you all understand the concepts of the third step, where we created test steps by using modules to automate your test case related to SAP application. So in my next session, I'm going to cover step 4, where we are going to populate the test step values for the test steps that we have created in this session. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon, you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.